people. Like I know people who have like five siblings who have like three dogs and eight cats, and they're all like cooped up together, and they're like, I can't stand this anymore.
That's crazy.
Uh,
And you're in New York.
yeah,
How is it in New York? Are they like
dude,
The
the,
Walking Dead? You
there
see
might as well
zombies
be
now?
zombies outside.
Mm.
It is a ghost town. Like I, everything shuts down at sunset. Uh, and basically, if you go, like I'm going for my walks outside at night whenever I do go for walks outside, and
Mm.
at 9 p.m. it's like 2 a.m. It feels like 2 a.m. because there is nobody. I mean, it's just like the wind is something that has the biggest sound or the biggest voice in the streets.
Yeah, I've noticed that coming home from work. It used to take like 33 minutes. Now it's just like 25 minutes, the same as like if I'm driving there at 5 in the morning. And I'm not gonna lie, I like it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean it's nice, but the other thing is you live in OTP, Georgia.
mhm.
This is the biggest city in America, the most densely populated everywhere, and you can't even see a car moving out on the street.
Oh, did you hear? You're near Brooklyn, so did you hear
I
them?
am in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so did you hear the singing? Uh,
This oh yeah, they're doing the singing now at like 8 p.m.
but yeah,
Uh
but they were singing Biggie. They were singing Juicy.
yeah, yeah.
That was
Who is it?
dope.
Jamie Foxx? I think Jamie Foxx has like a clip of it that I saw. But yeah, they do that. Not where I live,
Mm.
but I know for sure what you're talking about.
That would have been a perfect time for a white person to yell the N word because it's just all mixed in together.
Everybody's just cooped up inside.
Yeah, so no one could tell. You
Yeah.
just slip it in.
Well, that is what snipers are made for. Okay. People will find innovative ways to clap back. Let's just say
Yeah, there's only been one black sniper, and the police got him real quick.
that would be a great movie. I feel like,
What, a black sniper?
yeah, like I feel like that would have been the next Bond movie with
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
yeah, but he could only snipe in like Africa. You can't take him to Ukraine. How you gonna have Idris Elba, a
What you
black
hide
dude,
behind in Africa?
yeah, in white snow?
Oh God.
Now, but so you're a student.
Yes.
Are you are you finding it easier to study, or is it harder now?
No, I mean it's harder now because I just want to smoke weed on my mom's couch all the time, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Uh, and and it's like nobody wants, like all my friends, like they're like, oh whatever, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, just to pass by the time. Like this is the other thing. This is how you know people are bored, like very bored. And I tweeted this a while ago, but it was like this is the most matches I've ever had on Tinder before. Uh,
Word.
and now we've talked about this a little bit before, but now it's like girls are going on Tinder because they're so fed up with Netflix and shows. They're just looking for some sort of form of entertainment. So once they see me holding a mic in my hand, they're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be some new, fresh content. I'm ready for this." And yeah, I always disappoint usually, or
Word.
just it's boring. It's boring to talk.
That's
Uh,
what I'm finding. I made the mistake and re-downloaded Tinder too.
mhm.
And yeah, these chicks are boring. In my neck of the woods, they're either it's weird. They're either really boring or they have
They're a pair.
kids.
Oh,
No, they have kids. Like I don't know why there's so many moms here.
yeah, okay.
I didn't think I was that redneck. Like I lived that deep south, but like there's a lot of moms.
I
So
love the bios. They're like, I'm a hard-working girl, like 27 years old, 8 kids.
what's your age range?
I'm I'm a really good lover. Uh, cash out me at you
I know
know.
I love those. I'm a really good lover. It's like really? Then why are you on Tinder? If you're a good lover, you would not be on
You know
Tinder.
what's so funny? I found something about myself though on Tinder, or just about my uh, culture, about Guyana specifically,
Hmm.
which is there are very few Guyanese people in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
But most Guyanese, did you know this? Most Guyanese people are in Guyana after Queens, New York. Queens, New York has the most Guyanese people in the world.
Huh. In the
So
world.
yes,
Ah.
there's just like 80 billion of them stored into one house, living under one roof in Flushing, Queens, and they
Incredible.
all they all they're all living together, whatnot. But Guyanese people, they're so racially ambiguous that the most popular name is Asia.
Yeah, you do look very Asian.
No, no, no. But it's not even like the look of Asian. Like the actual names of people. Like there are multiple girls named Asia in
All right.
Guyana. That's a popular thing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like they're like, hey, my name is, or like they'll have like a little Guyanese flag, and I've seen like 4 or 5 Guyanese girls that are all whose names are all Asia for no
That's
reason.
that's a weird trend. I don't
Yes,
know why.
yes,
So where is uh Guyana? Guyana, right?
yeah.
Where is it?
Uh, it's like right next to Venezuela
Hmm.
and probably the Bermuda Triangle, and yeah, it's like in the middle of nowhere. It's like right next to Venezuela and like next to Brazil, I think, off the coast of South America, and it has an island technically, and like
Uh,
it's I mean it's not a literally it's so unimportant because people from Guyana leave Guyana because they know it's a bad place. So they're like, everybody who's born in Guyana is like, oh, we need to get the fuck out of here right now. And they immigrate all to Queens, New York. And then they
you,
live in Queens, New York for 8 generations.
you're right about the culturally ambiguous thing because in high school, I'm pretty sure I sat next to a Guyanese girl, and like for the entire time, I known her for like 4 years. I thought she was Indian. Until like senior year, she was like, "Yeah, I'm from Guyana," or one of her parents is Guyanese, and I'm like, "Yeah, you don't look it."
Well, the weird thing is like, okay, so like in Guyana, like the two main ethnicities in Guyana are Indian people and black people, right? Those are the two. It's weird because it's like saying you're Guyanese is essentially saying like you are America, like you're American in that sense,
Hmm.
because there are more races or ethnicities within Guyana because it's essentially a country where like they had a bunch of like colonizers come over, colonize the native lands, and then bring over a bunch of indentured servants and slaves, and then after that there's just a ton of like interracial marriages and mixing and whatnot.
Uh, so you're like the farmers market of South America. You're just a bunch of
Sure,
yeah, the
yeah,
international market.
yeah. We got some things here, some things there, I guess.
You
But
ever you ever been to those international markets?
you know what? Mm, I want no. Technically, no. But I have been to the markets in Chinatown, and I feel like that's international enough,
I mean, shoot, yeah. If you go to
dude.
ones in China, you're rolling the dice.
Dude, nobody. I mean, if you they can smell that you speak English as a first language, like
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
they know. And my stepmom, she's Chinese, speaks like fluent Mandarin, Cantonese, Shanghainese, like all like many different dialects of Chinese. So she can go there. They look at her, and she can talk, she can barter or whatever in the market, right? If I go and I want to buy like a sweetbread, for example, uh, they're gonna like. There have been times where they have charged me a little bit more, and this is a true story. They've charged me a little bit more for the sweetbread because they know that they can get away with it.
You got to haggle. You gotta
Well, I
haggle.
don't know. I don't know the price or whatever. They just chuck the sweetbread at me, and I'm like a fat kid, just like give me the cake, just let me get it. And it's so cheap already. Like I remember, like 6 years ago, it's like one of those sweetbreads was like 80 cents. So I'm like, why am I gonna haggle, right? But they were 80 cents usually for me. Other times they would be like $1.40 or $1.50, and I was like, there's something going on right here.
That's one thing Americans we don't know is haggling. Like we just take
Oh
everything
yeah.
at face value. I went to Uganda, uh,
Oh yeah.
and everything you can haggle.
Oh yeah.
Like everything you can haggle. And one thing I don't know if this is like this. It's an African thing, but when you go over there, you're everyone's friend or son or something like that. So you'll be in those markets and
They're
like
like, hey, yo, my
everyone's
son, and they dap you up.
not even that. It's just it's like they go, my friend, come buy something from me. Don't you want to buy something, my brother, my friend? And you're sitting there, and then like the American in you, this is how like messed up we are. It's because we're thinking, oh, this person's so poor and stuff like that. I gotta help them, and it's like this that assuming that person's dirt poor, but in actuality, they have a business, and I don't.
They're like, yeah, feel that guilt. Feel that,
That guilt's
feel that guilt, and
strong.
buy $25 of these beads real quick.
That guilt's strong.
But I get that. I get that totally. Especially because if you like, for me at least, if I ever go anywhere, I know that there are times where I'm like, okay, I'm buying something. It's probably like way more, and they can tell, and like I don't look from here and whatnot. But I'm like, you know what? I'll buy it, and it'll do them a solid, right? And I'll have this thing that I also wanted, so it's a mutual exchange, right?
Mm.
And at the very least, I'm doing something good, you know. And then they asked me to buy like eight more, and I'm like, fuck, they ripped me off.
That guilt though, that guilt worked on our government. That's why they're giving us 1,200.
Yeah, well, I mean, the crazy thing about the 12, I don't even think it's guilt. I think it's just recognizing that we need 1,200. The reason, like they basically stole the administration right now like stole Andrew Yang's entire platform like immediately
Oh
when
yeah,
they're
I didn't
like,
see his response, but he got to be pissed.
yeah, man, like think about it, like the fucking everything before like shit really went down. uh the One of the big things that they announced was like, we're going to give $1,000 to every American now. And Andrew Yang was probably like, you asshole, you can't just do that. That was my idea. That was my thing.
It's like those soldier boys stole my whole flow, bar for bar, word for word.
Exactly. Trump stole Yang's fucking some bars, bro.
Trump, Trump.
Well,
Nah,
yeah.
Andrew Yang. What? Whoa, no. What I was gonna say is that a lot of people were talking shit about Trump until he said he was gonna give him $1,000, and people got quiet for a second. Like they weren't calling him a bad guy when he was giving him $1,000. So I think Andrew Yang was onto something. I think you can buy.
Yeah, yeah, he was. He was like, This is a good idea, and everybody likes money, so everybody's gonna back this.
Yeah, because it was like everyone right before they announced they're
Nobody's
gonna
gonna
give us a
argue with
thousand.
free money.
Right, right before that, everyone was like, Trump's doing a terrible job at handling this. And then that like 3-day period when they announced it, everyone was real quiet. And then he did something like else, and then they went back to it. But I was like, oh, okay, I
Well,
see how it
I
is.
don't, I don't know, like necessarily if like everybody was just satisfied, like just turned a blind eye to the whole situation because they were getting like $1,200. But
Oh, they got quiet.
I will say there was a lot of memes on Instagram that I saw. They were like, "Oh shit! Look what I'm gonna do with my 1,200. I'm gonna buy a jet ski and be doing backflips and this and
Yeah.
that and
You know
all
what's a
this."
great time to be though? It's a
What?
with this government getting out the money, it's a great time to be a Mormon. because you got a lot of wives and a lot of kids. That's a lot of money you're gonna be getting. That's 1,200 for every wife and 500 for every kid. Mormons are gonna be
You know
rich.
how the Mormons are gonna like give their kids fake IDs? Like, please, please, just to get the extra 500 out of them.
Shoot, I might adopt a kid just to get the 500
Mormons are like, all right, kids, you're all from Texas, if anybody asks. Okay,
to start claiming dependence.
memorize your area code. Memorize you're from Conroe, Texas. Okay.
Conroe, Texas. The
They're
hood,
like,
Texas.
are you sure? Because Conroe, Texas is 80% Mexican.
Yo, Mexicans and Mormons have a beef apparently. I don't know why.
According to what?
You didn't hear that? They have like the Mormons are
I'm
beefing with
afraid
like
to
the
look this up now. Mexican Mormon beef.
nah, they do. You didn't hear about the Mormon family who got like the
Ah,
cartel murdered that Mormon family
yes, yeah, that yes.
and
I'm
like
looking it
three
up now.
kids. Yeah, and three kids like survived. Yeah, there's a big because I think don't quote me on this. I didn't. I just I read headlines. I'm like most Americans. I read headlines, and that's where my
So like the
information
worst
stops.
possible thing to do
Uh-huh.
right now.
That's where my and then from that headline,
I share Facebook posts that are actually fake and made by Russians. So
exactly from that headline though, I deduce what's probably context clues. I deduce what's probably in that article.
are you going to deduce context clues from one sentence?
Well, I saw cartel
Mexican
kills
cartel
Mormons.
destroys Mormons.
Yeah, so yeah, but they have a beef because I believe it's because like Mormons are buying up a ton of land and then they're probably interfering. They're going in like cartel areas, and the cartel's not happy with it. So there's a little ongoing war.
They're like, hey man, this is Jose Smith's land. Holmes, get the fuck out of here.
And there's some crazy stuff going on down there.
I mean, do they matter? I know it's a horrible thing to say
Careful, who?
to the Mormons.
The Mormons?
Yes. Like how like it's a horrible tragedy and whatnot. But are they are they the most important people right now specifically as well?
I'm gonna let
Like
you.
if we had to sacrifice anybody,
The Mormons.
they
I
got
don't
they
know.
got they got extra kids, man. That's
They
all I'm
got
saying.
the Mormon. I don't know why, but Mormons is just like a funny. Just Mormon is funny to like say. Shout out to all the listeners in Utah, you Mormons. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's like certain groups that are fun, like just funny.
Certain groups that are funny, yeah, I could get that. I also think it's just like the energy of Mormons. Like Mormon energy is funny.
Have you met a Mormon though?
Never, but
Mormons are like Native Americans. I
I've
don't know if
watched
they.
from afar.
I don't know if they exist other than like the plains of Utah.
Well, there is this man named Mitt Romney.
Oh yeah.
And
Actually, apparently there's a lot of Mormons in
I thought you were gonna say mistakes for a second.
a lot of Mormons, a lot of Mormons in the FBI or CIA because they don't drink or smoke.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I understand that reason. Um, but yeah, for some odd reason, there's a lot of Mormons in government. They're rich people. They're
Yeah.
rich people, and they're about to get even richer.
I mean, it's like it would be funny. I mean, at least they have a perfect business model if you think about family as a business
Hmm.
because they have like 12 kids, like all of these wives who are dedicated to them, right? So those 12 kids are going to grow up, they're going to like contribute back to them, right?
Hmm.
Just in some sort of way. They're going to also have like their probably 12 wives. They're also going to live with them or care for them. So yeah, more just convert to Mormonism because it's the truth, and we'll all be safe if we do that. If we all just start a family during COVID-19.
It's
Uh,
weird. Mormon. Mormon is like it's just Scientology that's been around longer because it's the
I don't know
same.
that much to say the statement like that, but I'm gonna
It's
passively agree with that and hope that there's no repercussions in the future.
really, you're the one who said they don't matter, or put out that statement if they do or not.
We'll skim over that. We'll skim
Yeah,
over
we'll skim over that. But nah,
that.
it's a good time to be a Mormon. You're gonna get a lot of money.
Yeah. Separately, because I'm great at segues. With the, have you been reading that like how COVID is gonna affect like the future or like life after the outbreak, like just how we like function as human beings or how like certain things may change?
hmm I that's what I said when I was talking with Ty. I said this is gonna be the 9/11 of diseases. How 9/11 we it because it used to be privacy before, and then 9/11 they said, oh, now you got TSA. You're gonna have to forego your privacy for the greater good. That's how they labeled it, and it's like really, if the liters of sanitizer or amount of liquid you could bring on a plane was so important, why'd they
Big
lift that? They lifted it with the same hand sanitizer. So then now what you're gonna see with Corona, uh, is it's going to be like mandatory vaccines, a lot of mandatory stuff when you're like it's probably when you're traveling abroad too. There's going to be some added restrictions, and then
So what you're telling me is all of the anti-vaxxers will perish.
oh, the anti-vaxxers is going to be pissed.
They will all, we'll all just round them up. We'll get them in a pen, and then we'll all just get them right there and then.
Yeah,
And
if you think the anti-vaxxers were bad now, they're gonna.
that is really funny though to think about that. Like, there's a vaccine that comes out, and the anti-vaxxers are like, "No, we're sticking by our guns here."
Yeah, we're good. We're good. No, yeah, this is gonna change it up. Um,
They're like, "What is that autism that you're trying to put inside of us?"
exactly.
um, I was reading about how this, like, after this, like, a lot of people are gonna be afraid of physical touch because we're so used to like socially distancing ourselves and like not like keeping our space and whatnot and having our own space now. So I wrote this other thing which is like now the like after this like holding somebody's hand is going to be the new third base,
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw you tweeted that.
right? Because here's my thought process behind this. Okay, it's if somebody holds your hand, you are either immediately gonna fuck them, or you're gonna be like, "This is enough for me. This is all I need," or you're gonna come. It's just that simple.
Now all this corona and quarantine is showing is that a lot of y'all don't know how to live with yourselves. Y'all just don't. Y'all. That's why I
Well,
always say it's like
this
you
is
never.
normal.
Nah, this is a normal life for me being inside, especially when I don't have a job. This is every day. Wake up, all right, look for jobs
Yeah,
and
but even
go to
if you're
sleep.
like unemployed or you don't have a job, right? You can still walk outside without having to fear like touching a handrail in the wrong way. You
Nah,
know what I mean?
that
I think
that
it's
people
I
are
think
going to
it's
be
the
afraid to
fear.
touch for like the first week after, and then not even the first week, the first like few hours maybe, and then right after that everyone's going to be hugging each other and going back to it, and then we're going to have a second wave and it's right back indoors. No one's because
So your
everyone's going to
vision
be
is
craving
like
for it.
just parties, like orgies, everything, swingers, the whole nine yards. Everybody's just me touching up on each other after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the first few days or like day maybe, people are gonna like be real awkward with each other because they're not gonna know how to have like that human to human contact. But then like after that, it's just gonna go back to normal.
I
It's not
guess.
gonna. It's not.
I mean, I disagree. I think if somebody flicks a titty, something's gonna happen.
If someone.
There's gonna be some sort of outburst or revolution. if
Oh
you
yeah, white
if you
women are
touch
writing.
something in the wrong way.
Yeah, white women are just waiting to complain again. They're like
Like that's a
ra-
campaign or a slogan.
they
They
are they're in their house because they can't complain about anything right now. There's no men to have microaggressions, so they're just in their house to go like they're like rabid dogs, just waiting to get out. And the second they're out, they're gonna find something.
have you? You know what's so funny? I haven't heard the word microaggressions used in like 3 years.
For real,
Yeah, like I've not heard the term microaggression,
they don't use
and
that
now
at Emory.
I'm not even at Emory. That's why I'm surprised because I'm like, surely somebody has said it by now. Like that's a microaggression or
That's the
whatever,
dumbest thing. Microaggressions.
right?
What does it even mean?
I to get slightly ticked off, I guess. I don't know. It's
Oh, they say sarcasm was like micro. It's the stupidest thing.
right. This is the definition: is a term used for brief and commonplace daily verbal, behavioral, or environmental indignities. This is already too long of a sentence here, but basically, it's to insult somebody slightly. So some sort of
Ooh,
group or some sort of
ooh.
people slightly. Uh, So, in other words, it doesn't fucking matter right now.
It
I
really
would rather.
that's the thing. That's what I've been saying. Because it's like, why the hell is America going through a mental health crisis when like countries like Yemen and stuff like that, um, that have real shit going on, and like wars and stuff like that aren't going through mental health crisis? And it's like, oh yeah, it's because they got real shit going on. And then you
Well,
see,
I think it's that, but also like, I don't think Yemen is going to be a country that like keeps up with that sort of stuff.
you know why? It's because they have real shit going on. When there's a war in your backyard, you don't give a fuck about
True.
microaggressions.
They're like, fuck, Assad is here. He's gonna he's gonna go ahead and take all of the troops
Yeah,
and carpet bomb the lands, and
no
the
one's
U.S. is
getting
gonna come for us, and
no
Bush
one's
did 9/11, and
no one's getting kidnapped by ISIS and being like, "Excuse me, it's sir," and like caring about it's that's why the funny thing, it's like you could see Corona. If there's a bright side to Corona, it's like um you saw like that like because that complaining of like how
saying
like
white women will go extinct.
not even like white women, just like it's people in general. It's like that all of that like, oh, I'm offended by this and this has all gone down because it's like now we realize that it's like, oh,
Oh, there's
there's
some real
bigger
shit
things
going
to yeah,
on.
there's real things to worry about.
People are starving right now. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh no way. Oh, my
that's why
mom.
like the rest of the world's not have like marching on colleges because someone
I,
wants to speak at their
it's not that deep though. Like the whole like marching on call like the whole PC stuff. It's really and this has been said thousands of times, but it's like it's really just a couple of people that have Facebook. That's really just it. And even at Emory, like there is a group of people who are like, oh, you shouldn't say that word or this or that, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, right? But at the same time, like now you're right, we're gonna have this thing, and I think people are gonna be a lot less concerned about you saying something politically incorrect versus like being able to eat for the next month and not
yeah.
having to send your family to like overflooded hospitals with like no ventilators and like having doctors work on you 24/7 and all this other shit.
Yeah, America's getting a take. Okay, America right now, it's like we're getting a free trial to be like a uh like the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's what we are right now. Like our president is like an African president.
You
Um,
think Trump's an African president?
well, yeah, Trump is the closest thing to an African president. Like Chappelle said,
An
uh,
African dictator, maybe.
Chappelle,
That's it's something
Chappelle,
else.
what's the difference? Chappelle has a great line where he's like, Trump's everything you thought a black president was going to be. And it's a great line, and it's true. The man is he's very just like like the common man. He's not it, it's a weird thing, but no, he's really close to an African president or African leader.
Yeah,
He just brags about all of his accomplishments. If he could, Trump would he would wear like the suit with all those war medals on it. I feel like
for anybody listening, are you guys excited that you're hearing two young people talking about politics right now? uh, but all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna leave it off on this because I can't. If I have to talk about Trump one more time with somebody, I'm just gonna leave it off as this. With him, at the very least, the fact that he fired the pandemic team, like the team meant to like take care of this whole situation, is not a good sign.
that's funny.
It's not great, you know. And you don't have to. It doesn't matter where you lie or whatever, because either way, this is like a group of people that he told to go fuck off, and now he's like, oh well, fuck, we should have got them. We kind of need them right now. So
It's funny. Yeah, I never talk about that dude though. I never.
yeah,
I,
especially.
I never,
Let's
especially in
have this
stand up.
awkward lull for a second.
Especially in stand up. A lot of people, I find it's
Oh yeah, it's
too
hacked.
easy.
I hate talking about politics, and we're on the same, you know, this we're gonna be in agreement here because I feel like when people talk about like politics is not the reason why I got into stand up. And whenever I hear politics and I mean, or like any sort of political bit, I'm like, it's been done, and I also just don't want to hear it.
Well, I think with stand up, you're confusing politics for Trump because
It's not even that though. Like
it's just him.
I don't like hearing like stuff about like Bernie or Biden or like the Democrats or this and that, and because it's just the reason why I got into stand up is to get away from big issue, not even big
But that's
issues.
stand up though.
It
Stand up
is.
always
Well, a
talks
large
about the
part
big
of it
issues.
is big issues. I will say that, and there's a huge group of comics and people who do political humor, and it's great and it's funny, and I totally respect that. Uh, but my opinion, it's just like, you know, I came just to tell jokes, and at least for me, I'm not personally invested in politics myself like that, so I would never tell or try and tell a joke or like a political joke. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Uh, and also the other thing is we were talking about this before as well, but it's like I don't want to hear a kid talk about politics. Or like I don't really have any reason or backing to talk about politics. So why would I talk about it in the first place? I don't have any like built up credibility, if that makes sense. But then again, like neither does most people. So
No, I see your point. I see your point. Um, I think that's a college. It's funny. I think, granted, you're what 20,
I'm 20, yes.
and you're gonna be 21 soon, right?
Yes, in September. And I can start going to Skull and Star Bar, all those places.
Oh my God, I can't wait till I'm 21.
Big boys are.
I
I mean,
can't wait.
it's gonna be so much fun. Like when we're both of age at least to go to those places and be in those types of places, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
I just
especially because like we're so young as well doing stand up. That's another weird thing. that not a lot of people understand.
Nah, people. It's not that they're envious. They're
Some
envy.
people are.
They're envious that like we found what we wanted to do at such a young age.
Yeah.
People. I don't know about you, but like people just straight up tell me all the time. They're like, "Damn, I wish I knew what I wanted to do at your age."
Mhm. Yeah,
And
I think it's like the other thing is they say that, and they're also like, fuck, Daniel's really good. He's gonna he's like by the time he's my age, he's gonna be way better than me. I think that's the other like subliminal thinking behind that statement. Because I've had like some people say that, and I've just thought like, oh, like this person is like 30 or something like that, and they're saying like, oh, I wish I had found that earlier and whatnot, and they truly mean it, and I love that. But then also in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, but they're also probably thinking about something else, like I'm 19, and I don't know about you, but like I'd do this forever. I mean, this is like, and a lot of comics also, like I can just see online where they're like stand up, like we need stand up. Like not having that right now is like not only like taking away like our coping mechanism, but also like like our passion at the same time.
oh yeah, I when I can't do stand up, I get it's not depression, but it's like borderline depression. I get into a weird funk. Um, and then
Yeah.
because I've had like, why is it acting up? I've had multiple. I've had. Can you hear me? I don't know why the mic's acting weird.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it was acting weird. No, but like, so after because I've had multiple setbacks in my
Mhm.
thing, because I've only really done comedy for like 7 months. Um,
Consistently, yeah,
of
that's
just
fair.
of just like doing it, because it's like I started and then I I didn't have a job, so I couldn't get gas money, and then I don't know why it took me forever, and then I get a job, um, and then I'm able to that January to April, and then I worked my ass off then, but then my car breaks down, and then I can't perform until September, and
I
then
mean,
I go from September to December. So
right.
yeah, that like yeah, in those times it's like depressing. That's why I don't like social media. I stay off social media
Yeah.
because because um because it's like I don't want to see other people doing it. Not that like I don't like any of you. It's just that it's like, damn, I wish I could be doing that.
Right. Yeah. That makes it's like a FOMO. It's like a big FOMO for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I I get that, but the other thing that you'll realize is like if anything, and we've talked about this before as well, but if anything, like now is like the best time to have this sort of setback or like not being able to go up on stage, at least for us and where we are in comedy, because we're in a place where like we're still very new, but we're very committed. So this setback will not mean like we'll never do comedy again. Unlike people who are like maybe 3 months, 6 months, you know, maybe even like 9 months in, really. Uh, but at the same time, I feel like it's good because at least I don't know what you've been doing, but I've just been trying to keep myself busy and just keep the wheels turning by writing. Like I'm trying to write as much as possible as I can so that when I come back, at the very least, I have all of this material, all of these thoughts, all of like the stuff that I want to do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But I feel like comedy, at the very least, or coming up with new material, is like a game of volume. So the more I write, the more likelihood that I'm going to have some better bits. Better bits means et cetera, et cetera. More shows, whatnot. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's the positive in that. Um, and also like, I mean, the whole reason as well, for this downtime. I mean, you started this podcast as well, so now it's like when people start listening to this, you'll build up like a group of people, hopefully, who like want to listen to this, who appreciate it, and sooner or later, like maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, if you keep the podcast going, like it's going to be something that helps, like, not only grow your fan base, but gets new, like gets people to consistently watch clips or content that you'll put out, probably later in your career when you have that content to put out.
Mm.
So I don't
That
know. There's positive in this, at the very least.
oh, trust me, yeah, I'm always on the positive side. Let's what's it called?
Yeah,
Look,
not being able to go up on stage fucking sucks.
well, because it does, but that's why my motto is always minor setback for major comeback.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
it's
That's
it's it's always yeah, every time because it's the knocks you get, but that's what makes you great. Is
as
those
long
knocks
as
that come back because oh baby, that's why I go at it so hard. Is because I know at any second it could go away. That's why I'm doing 13 mics a week. Like the best advice I got, Dirty South.
no, who's that?
Well, yeah, because you never could go to like Atlanta Comedy Theater. Dirty South is like every region, every little scene has its like legends. And Dirty South is for the Black community, our legend in Atlanta. Um, she's all like a smoker. Hey, what you doing, pudding? Like you could barely understand her. And she was at Atlanta Comedy Theater. This is when they were still doing the late night, so at like 12:30, and I remember walking in.
Yes.
Yeah, those. And I remember walking in, and she's like, "How you doing, baby?" Um, and I'm good. I'm tired though, and she goes, "We're all tired." And it was like at that moment it clicked. It was like being tired is not an excuse to go to like miss a mic or anything.
Oh yeah.
Which is but it can be because don't drive tired because it's like driving drunk. Have you ever you can drive, right? Or
I can drive, but I'm now just acquiring a car.
so I
So
don't know if you've ever driven tired.
no, no, not at all.
Oh my god, that's like driving drunk. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. If you drive
Great to
like
know that you're a responsible driver on the road.
it's no driving like when you're about to fall asleep, it's like driving drunk because you'll be like you'll forget sections of the drive. Um,
Oh no.
yeah, you'll just forget like minutes, and you're like, "Holy fuck, I'm driving," and then you'll be and then you just start like yelling at yourself because you're trying to like wake up, and you're just like, "Yeah," and
Do
then
you go delirious when
yeah,
you're
because
you
you're like,
become a fucking crazy person in the car?
yeah, because you're just trying to make it back home, and then you're just looking at landmarks. You're like, all right, I got like, all right, that's the Barnes and Noble. I got like 5 minutes left to get home, and you're just like shaking your head. You like stick your hands out the window. Um, you're just doing anything to get home, and then when
Would
you
you
get
would you
home,
listen to heavy metal on a tape?
yeah, I listen to Meek Mill, and you just turn Meek up,
That's
and
that works.
yeah,
I like
and
the difference in our thinking of staying awake with music.
yeah, right, yeah.
The exact I might as well have just been like, hey, do you like to like jump off a cliff like I do? No.
I don't know. Driving tired. All those like 3 in the morning drives home from Uptown Comedy. Oh my goodness, they're brutal. And then what doesn't help is that for a good chunk of it, you're just going straight.
Oh
So it's like
god.
if you have turns and stuff like that, that helps because it's like all right, you got to focus on the turn, but you're going straight and
And it's
like
like that for like what, 25, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And you're in the pitch black with like no other cars around you, I'm guessing.
Oh my goodness, my eyes are getting tired right now just thinking about it.
Hell yeah.
It is hell. It's I imagine I've never um been drunk, but I imagine it's what it is
It's
like
good. I'll tell you
while
that. It's a
driving.
very nice dude. How come wait, so when you were at Boston then you never drank or you never went to a party at all?
I was invited to a few frat parties. I was and the to be put on the list if that means anything. Um
Yeah, I know
but
what that is.
but uh but no, I never went to any party. I was always going out doing stand up as
Right,
much
but
as I
like
can.
when were the parties though? Like frat parties are usually like Friday night, right?
Yeah, but there's stand up. Well, in Boston, there's no stand up Friday. Like, there's no open mics Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I'll go on Fridays. I would always go to Nick's Comedy Stop because like that's where Bill Burr and
Right, to go
Patrice
hang.
started out. That's where they started out. So I'm like I would always go up. I would every Friday I would show up at a Nick's Comedy Stop. I only got on once. Shout out to Laura Severs. She let me open for her.
So,
But
like eight?
like what?
Did she let you do like a lot of time?
No, that's why I love her. She was always so nice to me. Laura Sever, I can't say her last name. I feel bad. I gotta get it right. From Dorchester. She's a real New England girl, but that was a terrible accent. But no. She was so nice to me, and I saw that she was headlining that Friday and Saturday. So I'm like, I gotta show up. I gotta support her. And she's like, I was like, oh, I came here. I couldn't miss this. And she's like, oh, do you want to do 5? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do 5.
Sick.
And
Nice.
and it meant so much to me. It
Oh
meant
yeah.
so much.
I mean, especially because like when you're hanging out, like it's not the same exact thing, but in Atlanta, the $10 shows for One Up Comedy, it's
I
like I started doing that, like just hanging on Fridays there at
hmm
shows because there's so many good like comics that are on the road or like also just like people who are really good in Atlanta, local comics on that show, and it's a great vibe and a great place and a really great hang. So I would do a similar thing. Um, so yeah, I totally get that. But at the same time, like there wasn't once where you're like, maybe I'll check out that frat party.
nah.
Nah.
I
All
never
right.
even it never even crossed my mind of like let me uh go to like this frat party. It was always like, all right, Friday, go to Nick's. Saturday I might go to Nick's too, but I didn't really. I would go to there was one at BU. But then there's another one too. I'm trying to remember. And then Sundays I stayed because the only places that were open they carded. So it was like I couldn't go. I tried. It was a gay bar, and I'm like, really, you guys are gonna card me?
Uh,
Um,
they
uh,
look at your face and they're like, no.
oh yeah, this baby face. But I was like, yeah. But then on Sundays I would just go over. Uh, what's it called? Like the week where I'll try to write. So yeah, I tried. Don't get me wrong. I tried getting into a few dorm rooms, some
Hey,
some chicks dorm rooms, but like I never really put in the effort. I never really cared. Like
never really put in the. You'd show up at the door. They're like, come in. You're like, no.
not even
I put in the
not even
effort.
that. I just sent a text message and I'll be like, all right, if you didn't respond, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah.
That time.
What do you? Is there any? What is the most positive memory of BU, if there are any? Are there any? Positive memory.
Positive
It
memory.
sounds like you hated BU with like a
Um,
strong malice.
I had B. I had to be you because it took my money. It just took my money and I didn't want to go.
So you're really
Five
pissed
grand. It
about
took
it.
5 grand of my own personal money that I saved up from Target Cafe. Any positive memories?
Like, what was the best night you had at BU?
At BU.
At BU.
Shoot, I'm gonna have to think. I'm not lying when like I never like I if I make the statement that I never went to college, it would be partially true.
Oh yeah.
I never really attended BU. Um, yeah, none of the teachers will know me
So
except for
in
my language arts.
conclusion, yeah. No.
The best night will be leaving.
The best night is when I left BU.
That would
That's
be the best night.
great.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's not really a moment where I was like, man, this BU life is awesome. No, I was always out and about in the city.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think the other thing is like BU is similar to NYU, where it's like it's a school that doesn't have a whole lot of spirit or it's not really connected by anything or anybody. So
Right.
everybody's just doing their own thing and it feels like my friend who's at NYU, he told me that like going to NYU feels like high school. Because like there's no like sports are not that big necessarily, and also everybody's like separated and whatnot. So I could see that at BU as well. Because when I visited BU, I was like, oh, this is like the NYU of Boston.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree with you on that. I think it's because we don't have a football
no,
team. Football teams really make a college, at least like in America. Um, but nah, BU. It's just college kids. I don't like college kids because y'all drink like you got mortgages to pay. It's
is that a
like
bad thing?
nah,
That's so hard to say, y'all. These are people the same age as you.
y'all some drunks for no like y'all drink like drinking your life away. It's like what problems do you have? You're 18.
They're drinking your life away. It's not. It's not like we're like veteran alcoholic. Although some people are,
Nah,
and
some of
and
you
I pride
kids,
myself on that.
some of you kids
Allegedly.
are drunks. It's like it's like, all right, chill, Brenda. You just have to turn in algebra. It's not that hard.
Well, I mean, kids want to have fun as well. Like going to a party and
No, okay.
that's the other thing. You're not a
I know
big drinker.
I'm looking like a Scrooge. I'm all for the drinking, but like
You a fucking Mormon? Jesus.
yeah, what are you, a Mormon? Nah, I'm all for it. It's just you drunks. Like I just don't get the
The sloppy
it's
one.
it's like because you'll understand this once you get out of college because because that's the thing with like my gap year, it separated me from like just the all right, went from straight from high school to college and stuff like that. You'll understand is that you guys, it's just weird of you college kids, you think you're grown up and you think you're mature because you live at a dorm and you get to go to bed when you want and like you can if you want to go out you can whenever you want, like you don't have
You
those
eat
restrictions,
cookies for
but you're
dinner.
still you're still living off of your mama's money, like your parents money and all that stuff. You're not as independent as you think you are. It's this weird, like I look at like
Yeah, but
you,
most kids our age are not.
yeah, you guys have this like you college kids have this like weird level of I guess with this weird level of like, oh, I'm mature and you're not. And you're not. And now I understand like when my parent
Yeah, I
like
get that.
when your parents are like, oh, you think you're mature. Because like, all right, you think you're mature, but you're not. Like, all right, think about when you were in high school, like you're a senior and you thought you were top dog and you're like the most mature.
Never, but go ahead.
You never thought that? You never thought like, okay, I'm a senior,
Oh
I'm
no,
the
I
big
never.
kid.
I thought that I was a big kid, but it was more like I'm the senior. I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's not like nobody really knows who I am or is like necessarily like fucks with me or will miss me when I'm gone per se.
Hmm.
Like I had my friends in high school, but I wasn't like it was weird because I went to a very small private school
Same.
and the there's like a really big difference with like New York City private schools because all of the like popular it's very like clicky, right? So like it'll be 20 kids that hang out with one another and then you hang out with some groups of people here and some groups of people there and you have like your friends that you but there's for me at least there was never like a clique or a group that I like to hang out with. It was always I would hang out with like two or three people, like a small group of people, and I had a bunch of small groups in high school.
I was
But
I was similar. I was because I went to a small. It technically wasn't private; it's a charter. Um, but like our graduating class was like 150 maybe,
yeah,
but 150. But like yeah, I was never. I was friends with every group. Like I could talk to and vibe with every clique you want to say, clique or group. But I never really had like my own. Like when it's like after the bell rang, it's like I never really had a group I hung out with after school. But I was friends with everyone. I could talk to everybody. I've always been like that. It's weird.
well, I also think most comics were not like the super popular, like good looking people, like elites of their class. Like I forget who was talking about this, but somebody I think it was Gilbert Godfrey, oddly enough. He was talking about how like the class clowns are usually the funniest people at a job, right? Because they don't have like any like they're fine. They're completely fine and whatnot, and they'll never go into comedy. But people who go into comedy, I think you have to be a little either not even rough around the edges, but you have to be a little delusional and a little weird to go into comedy because there's no other place that has the amount of rejections and the amount of like weird things that you'll do. Like who like if I were to describe comedy to you with and you didn't know anything about it and I just said, "Hey, there's a guy he talks at you and then at certain times he does certain things to hopefully make you feel a certain way." Like that's weird to me at the very least about it. But
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
it's
say is in high I totally get that because in high school most comics I feel like in high school were not like prom king or prom queen. That's all I'm trying to say.
Did you go to your prom?
I did. I went to my prom. I took I took a junior when I was a senior, and we only had like a senior prom.
Mm,
And she's like a really close friend of mine, like still is.
that's
Uh,
cool.
and and it was a lot of fun. And I loved prom, and we you know I got to hang out with my friends and whatnot. And then the after party was kind of fun. So yeah, I'm looking for something bad to say about it, but honestly, it was pretty good. It was a good time.
I'm glad you had a good time at prom.
I'm,
I
I'm I'm hearing some sort of indications of that it was a bad time for me.
it was a bad time because I never went to either of them.
You never went, so you had two proms?
Yeah, we had a junior. Well, apparently there was a junior one. I didn't even know about that. Um, there was a junior and then a senior prom, but yeah, I didn't go. Um,
Why?
I
Why couldn't
wanted
you
to
wait?
go. I wanted to go.
Okay.
And the girl I was gonna ask, she flew in a dude from Pennsylvania, so I was like,
Flew in a dude? like the
Okay,
military, like he was a
pro-
care package.
yeah, like it was like the NBA free agency. No,
Airdrop cat. Like
in her defense, in her defense, because we're still good friends to this day. Um, but in her
right.
defense, she didn't fly him in. He flew himself in. Uh, but yeah, that hurt.
So she managed. She was like, "Hey, do you want to go to prom with me?" And the dude was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "I'll willingly pay a ridiculous amount of money round trip."
Nah, that nigga probably flew on Spirit. There ain't no way you flew Delta down here. You took Spirit Airlines. That goofy ass suit.
so
Nah,
so
I ended up on prom. I was just reading Charlemagne's Black Privilege. That's what I was
that
doing
is
on prom.
so funny. Prom night's going on. Everybody's like dancing, going wild, and then just like cut away to you in your room, just fucking listening to or
Yeah,
reading.
everyone's like trying first things for the first time, losing their V card, and yeah, it's hard cut to me on the patio in my pajamas reading Black
Over
Privilege.
here being 60.
Hard cut. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. My prom. No regrets though. I'm actually.
That's good. If you're doing that's the most important thing. I feel like if you're okay with that,
I mean, yeah, I didn't miss out on much.
right?
I didn't
And
miss.
I mean,
It's
there's it's exactly. It's not a big. If anything, I feel like prom is just like a really big temporary high school wedding. If that makes sense. Like it's
speaking of
all.
that. Speaking of that, prom
Yeah.
people get overhyped for prom. Um, I know a dude. He proposed to his girl at prom.
Proposed?
Yeah, like during the slow dancing, and he was, I guess, in his head, he was like, "All right, this will be a great time to make her my wife."
Forgot.
And he
It's the
know,
South
yeah,
where the backwards cultures and
I
practices
guess
exist.
every Tinder chick's got a kid. And he knelt down on one knee and he proposed to her, and she said no because she's smart.
Hilarious. I was about to say, and she said no, and I was like, no, she probably said yes.
Nope, she said no because she's smart. And flash forward a couple of months, the dude's engaged now. He's like 18, maybe. I couldn't be. How could you be married at 18 on your own free will?
Dude,
And you're
I don't
not going to war. That's like some World War II kind of shit. It's like, all right, I'm going to war, marry me, um, so you
well,
can be a
also
widow.
it's like I don't know about you, but it's like I can't at this point in my life I cannot commit very well. Let alone thinking that I would propose and get engaged to somebody at this age is fucking insane.
That is
For me at
insane.
least.
That just should be insane to everyone at this age. It's
And it's
crazy.
like, well, the other thing is like,
What are you, a Mormon? Come on, that's
yeah, it's like there's no like, there's not a whole lot of relationship experience for people who are like this young, like at our age, right? Most people have been in, and this is just an estimate. I don't know the exact, but there's probably like two or three relationships really that you've been in up to this point, at most. I feel
not
like
even.
real relationships.
Well, I can't say real. Yeah, you gonna count your high school relationship as
Right,
real?
exactly. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff, the high school relationships are not real or not that they're sending like a good morning text and making sure you FaceTime every other day. Like, it's not a really big thing, right? And then you're gonna get engaged, and the next thing you know, you have like 8 kids. You work out like, oh gosh, or whatever she said. What I'm just trying to say is getting engaged at that young is it doesn't take a smart ass to say that that's not a good idea. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it's crazy. With
But
that being said, though,
yeah,
at is probably gonna get divorced at a young age, so he's gonna be
Oh shit.
he's gonna have a reason to drink in college. He's gonna be one kid who I'll understand. I'm like, all right, you're already
No,
divorced in college.
oh fuck. Jay Bedlani, shout out to him. He has a really good bit about it's not necessarily the same thing, but it's about how I think like his grandfather got married to his grandmother at like a younger age. And it's this whole thing about like I don't want to say the whole joke, but it's
Yeah, I wouldn't.
basically what you're saying.
No, it's my favorite transition. But
but
but yeah, but so that's a
okay, in our comedy, at least for me, I have no transitions. Like I cannot. I'm not somebody that was like speaking of this or like go like somehow like there's some sort of connection or theme. Barely any in any of the sets that I do.
work on it because
Yeah.
mine because I make sure I have transitions so that it's because it helps, it flows.
Oh yeah.
If it flows, if you can just go, because then it's like you're having a conversation with them, and then it plays off of it, and then it can help build the bits. But yeah, make that's because that's how I build time too, because then it's like, all right, where will this fit in? And it's like I see it as it's a puzzle, um and I'm taking you on this journey of we're solving a puzzle together, and I'm laying down the pieces, and then you're like, oh shoot, okay, this is what it is. And at the end of it, at the end of my time, you should have a picture, and you should leave with knowing something, either knowing something about me or about whatever I'm talking about. Like, but you should leave with something.
Yeah.
That's my so transitions help. Transitions are a big thing. That's what
That
a lot of
15-minute jerking off bit is gonna work amazingly.
well, you got the right transitions.
Just take away. They're gonna be like Daniel, class A guy, real good guy.
If you got that, if you got those transitions.
Okay. When you have you ever like looked at your like just thought about your comedy and you're like, what kind of comedy am I putting out?
Yeah,
What
I
about
think
that?
about it. I think about, okay, am I different from everybody else? Am I saying that like I always look, I'm like, all right, am I saying the same thing that everyone else is saying? And and if I am, I try to switch it up. But yeah, I just make sure because everyone's talking about roughly the same few things.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're different, it's a whole other thing. Like that's what it was in Boston, and it's no knock on any of the people in Boston. I love them all, but it was like the majority of people in Boston take classes. So it's like they all sound the same. That's what I realized when I came back here. I was like, oh, that's why, because they all sounded the same, because they all learned the same thing. All right,
It's not like delivering; it's just reciting.
this is how you structure a joke. A lot of them have like a deadpanish delivery.
Right.
So it was like when all because like a lot of times it was like they're just like the crowds were just looking for someone with energy. If you had energy, you got them because it was something different.
Right. Exactly.
But there's no knock on them. It's just like you just gotta notice those things. Okay, what is everyone doing? Let me switch it up. And then it's finding who you are, which I have no idea because I'm just a 19-year-old kid, but trying to figure out.
It's so funny. Right as you said that, I just looked at your icon of you holding yourself.
Yeah,
I'm just a 19-year-old kid holding myself right now.
some lonely kid,
My God.
a lone
How do you?
wolf.
Oh, I have an interesting question. So, like, you're like, since you're not in college, right? Like, dating is hard. Uh, there's not necessarily a whole lot of options,
Yeah,
but This is not like right now specifically, but I'm just saying in general. Would you ever date a comic?
No.
No. Yeah. I'm pretty. Yeah. I'm gonna say no as well. Mostly because it's just like I don't know about you, but I'm like that's my. I feel like that's my. It sounds selfish, but I'm like this is my space. This is my area.
No, I
Where
feel you on that. And then it's also too, it's like you just
this is
shouldn't
other
date a
people's space.
coworker. Cause
Yeah.
we're
Exactly.
coworkers. You shouldn't date a coworker. Cause if God forbid something goes like it goes bad, you kind of don't want to show up to work every day seeing that person. It's like, oh geez. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right though about being out of college. Dating is hard.
Yeah.
It's but it was gonna be hard regardless because it's like I don't have time. For me, I have no time to date, and
Right.
it's
Because
like
you're working and then you're doing comedy at night.
yeah, I'm working 19-hour days, so it's like I don't have. It's like I could, but then on the flip side too, it's like there are not a lot of girls who understand what I'm doing because like I've talked to a bunch of girls and then they'll be like, oh, so you're stand up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out every night, and then you get this, oh, so it's like cause it's like
Get oh.
yeah, I get it, oh, um, I'm like, yeah, I'm out every night, and it's like, and I understand it is, but because it's gonna be real hard to be with someone who's never there. I feel you on that, but yeah, there are not too many girls out there who like understand that I'm chasing this and I can't wait. That's why I'm trying to date Selena Gomez because I feel like she would understand.
Very understanding, accepting
She
of
Selena will understand the grind. Selena gets it. She was grinding in Wizards of Waverly Place, still putting out albums, fire albums.
Oh,
She'll
God.
get it.
What's your grand plan then to to eventually be dating Selena Gomez? Are you gonna become like a Pete Davidson type and then go around like a Pete Davidson,
Oh God, no.
Ariana Grande type?
No. Um Nah, I feel like so I feel like Selena, I don't know if we'll make it to marriage, but I feel like we might just be better as friends. We'll find out.
You're putting her in the zone before she can put you in the zone defense.
Yeah, that's the comic defense mechanism. Is that it's everyone else's fault, not mine.
You're like, you know what? I'm better than her. Actually, I deserve more.
Nah, but I feel like Selena's a cool person. I feel like I don't know, ever since she
You should
stepped
send her
away.
a handwritten note.
Handwritten, no, I don't know. I'm a
Yeah, carrier pigeon.
I a weird feeling I'm gonna meet her one day.
You better have this documented. I'm just gonna
Oh,
say.
I've been saying this since senior year of high school, so this is
At prom? Yeah.
yeah.
He's just looking at the book. He's like, Selena will be mine. Selena will be mine.
You got to put things out in the universe, baby.
Charlemagne, listen to me when I say this.
Charlemagne the God. Yeah, I feel like I got chances. She might be my type, or I might be her type.
You might be my type.
I might be Selena's type.
There's so much false hope in that one sentence. Oh God. That would be cool. I mean, that would be cool if like not
Nah,
that
we gonna
we're
keep it
not.
on the
I know
low
we're
though.
both not in it for like fame, but to be fair, right? If you do become that good, eventually you're gonna rub shoulders with some important people later in life. So it would be cool if somehow I'm not saying it's even possible, but
y'all making these jokes now. Well, we're gonna see who's laughing. We're gonna see who's laughing when you see those TMZ headlines. And it's like
Daniel,
Selena Gomez spotted with
she's
like
carrying you. She's carrying you like a piggyback ride. And
yeah,
you're on her shoulders and everything.
She is 8 years older, so that's a problem.
Did you break her
Uh,
back? She's too old.
shit, she's 8 years older. But I'm telling you, y'all laughing now. But it's gonna be.
What's the honest? I mean, she's an attractive person, but what's the honest appeal of Selena Gomez specifically?
She seems like a cool person, and I feel like she has a sense of humor. That's my thing. I need a girl with a sense of humor. I can't.
All
If you
right, let me just say this. Right, this is my argument. Okay, she seems like a cool person, so by that logic, you would also be into people who would seem like cool people, like Selena Gomez, right?
huh?
So, okay, what I'm trying to say is if you like Selena Gomez, you are
Yeah.
likely to like other people who are similar to Selena Gomez, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you getting at?
So, if you Google Selena Gomez, there's
Yeah.
a people also search for, and
Nah,
underneath
nah. I'm not getting the knockoff
Shawn
brand.
Mendes is right there. That's all I'm saying. That's
I'm
all I'm
not
saying.
I'm not getting the knockoff brand.
But no, he might be a
I
cool
want the
guy.
real
He might
thing.
be
I
a cool
want the
guy to
real
hear.
thing. I want the real thing.
Justin Bieber's also right there. He I'm just saying, if there are any other cool people that you're trying to meet like that,
I'm not getting the Camilla Camille or whatever of Selena's. I'm getting Selena.
there's a lot of wow, there's a lot of like really good people also search for girls in the search. There's
You getting into the weird side of the internet. Why are you searching up girls?
I'm searching up Selena Gomez. This is a
Said I want to make it
no, no, no,
very
no, no.
clear. I want
We're
to make
saying it's a very clear thing. I'm not just searching up girls dilly dally, okay? I'm searching up the girl, and then underneath her, I'm clicking on people also search for and looking at the list of people also search for. And I'm seeing that there is an attractive selection as well. So
What is Selena? Is she like Puerto
she has to,
Rican,
well,
Colombian? What is she?
I, I don't know exactly. Uh, but she has to be Latina with the
Oh,
last name.
she's Latina, but I know that. I'm just saying
Oh,
what.
her father is of Mexican descent, while her mother, who was adopted, has some Italian ancestry.
Oh, she's Italian. Oh, that's my end. She's Italian. Oh, it's over. It's over. She's
No, wait,
Italian.
I never. Yeah.
Oh, baby. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys.
Everybody on who's listening to this, just don't mind Daniel's raging boner right now over the audio.
Nah, I'm telling you, Selena. I feel like Selena's got a great personality.
What exactly is it? Just all of the Waverly, like Wizards of Waverly Place clips and videos that you've seen over your childhood?
No, I'm basing it off of how she stepped away from the music industry for a minute. She stepped away from she went MIA for a
For
minute
like a
because
year?
there's a period of time, and it's like that takes a lot to step away and to be like, all right, this industry is toxic. Let me take a step back. I think she's a well-grounded person. Selena's the type of person you can bring home to the parents.
Obviously, you fucking moron. You think your parents are gonna reject Selena Gomez?
Shoot,
No,
maybe.
no, no, not in our house. Not with the millions of dollars that she's making. No, definitely not with that and all the fame and
I don't even
popularity.
care about the money. I'll sign a prenup. I'll sign a prenup with Selena. I don't care.
Oh man, yeah, she's Italian and
I didn't
Mexican.
know she was Italian. You don't know. That's my end. It's
So
game
so
over
wait,
from
so
now.
you're Ugandan and Italian? Is
Yes,
that what it
sir.
is? You're
Yes.
half each?
I'm 50. Mom straight from Uganda. Uh, Dad is Italian American. He was born in Boston and everything. I believe I don't know how true this story is. But great great grandfather was a secretary to Mussolini.
Oh
So,
shit!
so there's a little fascism in my blood. I
So,
mean, he
so
was a
but you
secretary.
got, you got some Italian culture there. You got
And
some.
I mean, my last name's Dellanno. You don't get more Italian than that.
Anything with an O or a vowel in the end
Yeah.
is
All my on the dad's side, all their names rhyme. That's how Italian is. All Louis, Vinny, Anthony, all they rhyme. And
just
then
feel
I'm.
like you're taking me back to my high school right
Oh, you had a lot of Italians.
now. Yeah. So there's where do you know Chris Stefano and Giannis Papas?
Yeah, yeah.
So the area that they're in, Bay Ridge, and also Diker Heights specifically, though, is where my high school is, and a
Oh.
lot of kids from that area, like Diker Heights, Bay Ridge, would go to my school,
Hmm.
and they're like the perfect embodiment of like Bay Ridge, Diker Heights people or kids, because
Hmm.
Bay Ridge is like mostly like a lot of Greek people, like a ton of Greek people who live in Bay Ridge, who like live in these like mansions basically.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has like they have a ton of like property, like the most you could get in New York City while still being in the city.
Hmm.
And then in Diker Heights, it's like where all of the mafia is left over. Like all the people who are hiding from the government right now, who committed like crimes. Uh,
They're the
and
original social distancer.
yes, exactly.
Uh,
And Chris Stefano, I don't know this for sure, but I want to say he's from like around Diker Heights, and a lot of kids from my school lived in Diker Heights, and I've been there before as well, and that is one of the most Italian neighborhoods or areas in New York City, probably after a place close by or a neighborhood close by called
mhm.
Bensonhurst. Uh,
Ah.
but we got a lot of Chenzos and like all these other people and whatnot,
A
and
lot of calzones cooking some ricotta pie.
yeah. Well, the crazy thing is the I think Chris Stefano, he went to Zavarian High School, which is like it's like a 5 minute like a 5 minute drive from my high school in Bay Ridge, and there are way more kids from Diker Heights. They would go to go to Zavarian in Bay Ridge, mostly because it's a public school. Um, and other zoning things that I don't really know about. But there are a ton of Italian kids that would go to Zavarian. So my school's only it's got a small amount of Chenzos and Enzos in there. The real hub is Zavarian, where they have, God knows, the whole pasta fagioli and everything. Oh,
Bafangul.
exactly. Exactly.
Bafangul, it means fuck you in Italian.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that.
I know that's why you're like, exactly. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he doesn't know the yeah,
I'm,
this.
I'm I'm just gonna lie so that we can
We can move on.
we can move on from this. um,
I know
Also,
it's
wait. So your mom. So then, how did I'm wondering? Like, I'm very like interested in like interracial like couples or marriages. Like, how did your parents meet?
Boston.
They just met in
Um,
Boston, like
they
at a
met in
bar,
Boston at a club,
a club.
at a club, and
Uh-huh.
yeah,
That
and
was
then
it.
they yeah, and then they yeah, then they dated, and then they moved down to Georgia, I believe, for a job. My dad had a job and he moved down here, I believe. Um, but yeah, it was cool being in Boston though, and like I was
So you were in
performing it
Boston the first.
first
What,
semester of college from.
oh, but I'm saying like were you born in Atlanta, like in Georgia?
I was born in Georgia.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think I'm from Boston, for how I talk about it or
Because
how I
from the way you
used to
say
talk about it.
Boston,
Yeah. Uh, no, what's
are you
weird
doing
is
that
that
purposely?
It's what's weird is that people think I'm from New York by my accent. Even
No,
when I was in Boston, I was asked I was asked by like a New Yorker. They're like, "Oh, she was like, are you from New York?" And I was like, "No, I'm
it
from."
just means you're loud. That's all.
Yeah, probably. That's the
You're
Italian
loud
in
and
me.
obnoxious is what she's trying to tell you.
That's the Italian in me. Um, but no, I'm from. Yeah, they met in Boston and they moved down, and then it was cool in Boston though because I was performing in a few bars that like my dad used to play darts in, and
Oh shit,
he would
that's nice.
drag my mom to come play or to come
Play
watch him
darts.
play. Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to her because that's a boring thing to watch.
Just watching your husband throw things at a board.
That's boring.
Honey, it's your turn. Ah,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's really boring. It's a cool thing though if you ever get the chance to be a cliche high school musical boy and you're playing darts and to like I don't know what like to show a girl how to throw the dart if you
Ah,
want to be that like
well, I don't even know how to throw darts myself.
I don't know I guess it's in my blood.
So how am I going to show?
It's
Hey,
in
you
my
keep the
blood.
same.
It's not hard. You're just throwing.
Use forward motion with the wrist, okay? Forward mo. Do not throw it at me. Please do not throw it at me.
That's how I'm gonna get Selena. I'm gonna I'm gonna
You're
be
gonna throw a
playing
dart at her
darts.
head.
No, I'm gonna be playing darts, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, I got you." This. If I was Selena, I'd be creeped out. But nah, Selena, I good intentions. Good intentions.
My biggest fear about playing darts is the classic like you throw a dart. What if it like somebody else throws a dart, you're in the way, it hits you like in the hand specifically. Like
Well,
that's
that's on
always
you.
my thing. Yeah,
That
I don't know why.
that's like having a fear of being at a shooting range and getting like and standing in
Yeah,
front of
yeah,
the target and getting shot.
yes. I mean same thing. It's like I don't like things that
I
could
feel
hurt
like
me. I
you
think it's a
deserve it
pretty
at that
reasonable
point.
thing.
Yeah, but what are you doing standing in front of the target? You deserve it.
Yeah, but it could just be like, what if freak accidents and whatnot, and who knows? It's just also a lot of irrational fear that's been built up in my mind because of my immigrant mom telling me to stay in and do careful things like study the SAT since age 2, and
Yeah, I
uh,
feel you.
yeah, so
Well,
that's my big fear against darts, but other things. Like okay, for example, like I got to I shot a gun like probably like 3 4 weeks ago for the first time when I
how
was on
was it?
spring break. It's powerful, man.
I was yeah.
It's a so I shot a shotgun,
Mm.
and in the south, by the way, like deep south.
You
uh
didn't know it, but you were preparing for the apocalypse at that time.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's crazy. Have you ever shot a gun before, first off?
No, but I've heard so many times that like
They
oh, there's
rejected you
so
with
much
that statement.
power. There's
That's
so much power.
it's a lot of power, but the main thing is when you first shoot it, you don't realize how much power there is or like what to do properly because it's like taking your first step essentially. So when I shot the gun, the shotgun that I had, I didn't have the back of the gun, which is called the stock,
Yeah, the butt,
firmly
the
pressed
stock.
against yeah, firmly pressed against my shoulder.
Ooh, that recoil is gonna.
So right, so I shot it. Gun goes up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
kicks back. Luckily, like I was like firmly planted enough, but like that thing thudded right into my shoulder and like at least moved me back a little bit, and that was enough for me to realize like, oh, this is something not to mess with. like I
Yeah.
would I would never. I mean, my like I also have like a big fear about guns, which is a whole different thing. But when you shoot one for the first time and you feel the power of a gun, it's just like, yeah, this is a dangerous item to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, you're probably sitting there like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to mess around with these. It's not like throwing darts at the very least, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but that recoil, I can. There's a lot of people with like deagles,
Mm,
those desert eagles, and they shoot.
yes.
Yeah, you break your face.
Handguns. Oh yeah, handguns are a different beast because there's nothing to you can't like put a handgun into your shoulder and hold it still, right? You have to try and just fight the recoil or the kickback of the gun, and that's way harder. I've never done that.
You have
Probably will never do that.
you have to be one with the gun. You and the gun are
What is that? What is that voice? It sounds like
are one.
Gandalf had a cold. sounds like Gandalf got COVID.
Gandalf.
You have to be one with. Excuse me.
If Gandalf got corona, he would die and he would come back whiter. Isn't that the whole? That's the whole joke. Is that
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings was so white that even when the characters die, they come back whiter.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
You never seen Lord of the Rings?
No, never, not once.
Damn.
Well, that's a lie. I've seen the first 30 minutes when I was like 12, so probably not an appropriate age to watch Lord of the Rings.
No,
And it was,
that's an
I mean,
appropriate age.
yeah, fair, I
It's
guess.
not. It's not.
I don't remember it.
It's just you get orcs getting chopped up. That's about it. I
Yeah,
think their kids playing Call of Duty at 10.
that was not me.
I was I was called the N-word by a lot of white 9-year-olds and those
That's
Call of Duty lobbies. So
at least you got to know your identity at such a young age.
yeah, I was sitting there like, wow, I guess I am a nigger. Ma, you won't believe what I found out today.
she's like, now Daniel.
I'm a nigger.
My God.
But on that note, because we've been going for an hour and 30.
Oh, that's a while. Yes.
By now. We've had a great conversation. I think this has
Thank
been
you.
this has been a
I'm glad.
great thing. Stay safe. I know you're in New York City. You guys apparently
Quarantined the shit out of.
yeah, you guys are quarantined and you're the epicenter of
Yeah, whatever it means. We're the clusterfuck.
yeah, of America. But stay safe. All right.
Thank
It was
you.
great talking, Liam.
Yes, appreciate it.